Alrighty, welcome back to East to West Coast Sports, everyone. Well, the Homestead is officially over, and we went 1-5. Not the way I think a lot of us were thinking that this Homestead was going to go. Started off the season 6-2. They finished 7-8 with a 6-game losing streak in between. But let's be honest, these were some tough teams. Cavs, back-to-back Timberwolves, back-to-back OKC, and a Houston Rockets team that is just gritty and got a lot of dogs on that team. So while you hate to see the 6-game losing streak, Steph missed a couple of the games. Obviously, Draymond getting suspended. You know, it's understandable to some degree. These were some really good teams. The Timberwolves look legit, man. The Timberwolves look legit. I mean, I think they're going to be a top 4 seed in the West, which is saying a lot because this is a stacked West. I think they're going to be a team that you don't want to see in the postseason. They are gelling defensively. Anthony Edwards taking that big leap. Man, they're going to be a tough team out. OKC, on the other hand, SGA, man, he's legit. He's legit. He feels like he can get anywhere on the court. And now the Warriors defense isn't what it used to be, but we're not slumps. We got some good players out there, Wiggins, Kuminga, GP2, and SGA was eating us up. Jalen Williams is having that, second year leap, and Chet is a problem, man. Chet is a problem at 7-1, I believe, 7-2. He can shoot. And he had one of those games against us. That turnaround 3 at the buzzer. Ooh, that was killer. That was killer, especially on a night that Wiggins broke out offensively. He looked fantastic. I hated to see that the Warriors did not get the win because I knew once Chet hit that 3, we were done. We were not winning in overtime. But OKC is another team that I think, maybe will be a 5 or 6 seed, but not any lower. Not any lower. They are going to be a tough postseason team for anyone. They got a lot of youth, a lot of length. They're quick. SGA is a bona fide superstar. He goes in that category with Luka, with, Tatum, Booker. Like, he's on that level, if not better than some of those guys. And OKC looks good. All right, let's talk about last night. We snapped the losing streak. We get a win. Of course, it was a scheduled loss for Houston. They were on a back-to-back. Last game on their road trip, they just lost to LA twice. So, at the end of the day, you take the win. You take the win. Wiggins, for 2 games now, has looked a lot more comfortable. I hope that's going to be able to translate on the road. His shot, looks a lot better. And it seemingly looked like it just flipped a switch, which is just wild. Like, from one game to another, he started making shots. Or it's a mental thing. He saw some go in, and he was like, yeah, I can shoot, right? I'm not this 18% three-point shooter. I have a mid-range shot. I'm athletic as hell. We'll take it, right? We'll take it. Wiggins, welcome back to the party. We need you, man. Klay, on the other hand, had a great game against Houston, shot really well to start, took a lot of shots, but he was still taking some bad ones. And I think Kerr said it in his presser at the end of the game. He said, we're working on Klay getting those open looks or, catch and shoot versus him dribbling. I can't stand him dribbling. Yes, it works out sometimes, but he thinks he's a better dribbler than he actually is. And this started happening like 2 years ago where he added it to the bag, and it was a great little counter move when people weren't expecting it. But now that he tries to do it as much as he does, it's not working for him. Klay, I love you, man, but stick to what you're good at. Keep those catch and shoot shots because you're one of the best. We need you. But, the dribbling just isn't working. And then what can you say? Steph has been great since he got back. He had a few game rests. Looks like his knee's fine. Shot the lights out last night. Man, he's got some tough shots that he can make. And it's not surprising at all anymore. But when he comes off those curls and he comes up to the top of the key or the wing of the 3-point line and he takes that 3-point jump shot, running it every single time, it's like, man, Steph Curry, you're incredible. There's not a lot of guys who can do what he did. He was dribbling a little bit too much towards the end there. I never felt like we were really in danger of losing the game in the crunch time, but, I felt like we got away from what was working. CP hitting some shots. I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about how passive Steph has been to start games or CP being on the ball too much. To be honest, we're at game 15. We don't need Steph on the ball as much as we do. I think this is a conscious effort to keep Steph as fresh as possible. Running around can be tough. But when you aren't dealing with someone hounding you while you have the ball, it's a lot less wear and tear on his body. And I think we're running CP at point as much as we can, get Steph, open looks, running off of screens. I think in important games or in a postseason series, I think we're going to see Steph on the ball a little bit more. So don't worry too much about that. I think Steph knows what he's doing. All right, last thing on the positives. The rookies look really good. Right now with sort of the roster being in a weird position with Draymond out, GP2 out, Steph had missed a couple games. Obviously, the rookies got a lot of run. Pods has been looking really great. I think in this instance, Pods has proven that he's better than Corey Joseph in this system or just as a basketball player in general. So I would love to see Pods take that third guard spot. We don't need Corey Joseph on the court very much. What was weird was we had Trace Jackson Davis go down to the G League. He had like a bone bruise or something like that. He was suited up for last night's game, and I thought, with Şengün and just how rough these Houston Rockets play, I thought, okay, Jackson Davis can get some more run. I think he only got like 6 or 7 minutes. They pulled him. Dario was cooking, but it's weird because I thought in this instance with Draymond being suspended, I thought we would see more Trace. And funny enough, we've seen a lot more Pods. Don't hate it because Pods has been playing really well, but I think Trace needs to be out there, in a solid 10-ish, 12-ish minute rotation almost every night. There's going to be certain matchups that it doesn't work out, but his hustle, his ability to play defense on those big guys, add a lob presence to CP. I think it's needed most nights. So I'm a little surprised that we're not seeing him more. All right, let's talk about moving forward. So what can the Warriors do? I still think there's a chance that you push some chips in and you go for a big name player that fits the system well this year, in hopes that it can help for next year as well. As much as I've loved Jonathan Kuminga, what he's done, I don't think he can be like your second guy on a contending team down the road. Hopefully I'm wrong because I would love to see Jonathan Kuminga, continue to grow as a player and be a cornerstone piece. But right now, as it stands, I think he's a fantastic role player. I think he could be similar to what Andrew Wiggins did and be that just like awesome third, best player, fourth best player on a roster that's a contender. Is that his ceiling? I don't know. Moody, on the other hand, again, he's not going to be your top 2 guy, not even your top 3 guy. He should and can be a starter, I think, on some teams. But he's got a really good feel to the game, and his shot is really pure. He, can shoot in tight windows. He can, shoot off the dribble a little bit as well, and he's a big guy, and I think his defense has improved a lot. If I were having to pick between JK and Moody, I think I'm going with Moody for this roster. And you couple JK with a pick or another player and see what you can get. Now, these athletic wings who, are foul magnets, he's got a decent shot. We've developed him over the past 2 years. That would be hard to see him go. But if it returns, an awesome player that puts us back into contention, I think it's worth it. I think you just do it. All right, and moving forward, so we have the Suns tomorrow. No Beal. Man, Beal's back that thing is messed up, and they're riding KD a lot. Book tends to get up for the Warriors. He likes to play us, so I'm expecting a big game from both their big 2 right now. But Warriors are almost at full strength. It looks like GP2 will be back. Love seeing these younger guys get some run. So I think it'll be a fun game. Hopefully we turn the corner on these offensive slumps from, our big 3 outside of Steph, right? Clay, Wiggins, CP, Kuminga, right? Hopefully we can get some consistent scoring there. And if we do, I think we have a chance to be, we can win any night, right? So excited to see what this does. It was great to see Wiggins get out of the slump. It was terrible to see a 6-game losing streak, but it snapped. Let's get back to 500. Great to play some different teams with the Suns. We've seen the Suns opening night. We've seen Minnesota twice. We've seen the Cavs twice, and we've seen OKC twice. I'm tired, man. I want some new teams, right? These are tough teams, and it really brings the spirits down when you have those losing streaks. So I'm excited for some new games, and hopefully they can string together some wins. All right, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Let me know your thoughts below on Wiggins and the state of the Warriors right now. Peace.